This is the study zone, active study zone for the Neighborhood Safety and Animal Welfare Study, which is a community-based, non-lethal stray dog population management program. This is part of the study zone, 14 blocks, that we chose because of an incident that happened about 2 years ago now. A woman was commuting to work on her bicycle and was chased by a group of 8 dogs, and sadly was bitten and injured severely enough that she wound up in the hospital, and found overseas in Romania a project called Save Our Strays, where stray dogs are trapped and spayed or neutered, vaccinated, any health conditions they have are treated, and then they're returned to where they were found. And in that particular program, over about 5 years, the population of dogs dropped by 80%, and dog bite incidents went down by 50%. Our program is to trap, sterilize, neuter strays, and then rehome them.
I do think that the stray animal population and the problems that they create are as much of a people problem as there are an animal problem, because basically when we do act responsibly and take care of the domestic pets under our care, and we can limit the number of unwanted pregnancies and births, therefore lower numbers of litters of dogs that may wander off, or cats, and create problems as strays.
My suspicion is that the stray dogs are coming from the owned dogs in the neighborhood rather than people abandoning dogs in the neighborhood. Yeah.
And he side between him and her.
54 puppies. 54 puppies. Yeah.
Lord,
in 5 years. So what we've tried to do is, in addition to spay neuter the owned dogs, we've also made efforts to repair fencing in the yards, so that when an individual is feeding their dogs, they're not accidentally feeding the ferals or the stray dogs that come in under the damaged fence. A big section of this fencing was damaged in the flood last year. So Dennis and Bertha had really done as much as they could to block the hole up. A stray dog or an owned dog that roamed could pretty easily go under that fence, find the food and water, and then leave. So that would be another way that a community supports a stray dog population.
We have a stray right now that came from the study area that Amy's been working with, and that poor dog, I think, was loaded with parasites, and it's got some long-term sort of issues too, some geriatric sorts of things. But you know, depending on the age of the animal, it could be something real minor like some worms that a deworming might take care of, or something much more concerning like a heart condition, or potentially a real serious infection of a fungal condition or something along those lines.
The only thing we really know is, you know, the dog catchers go catch the dog, take him off the street, put him in a shelter, and if nobody claims the dog, then you put him to sleep. So as we were talking about it, I saw, wait a minute, yeah, there are some really humane ways we can do it that actually can engage the neighborhood in the whole process.
Dr. Arthur Lee is a retired physician with a lifelong interest in public health. He and I began working together to gather data and understand how the stray dog population in a community impacts public health.
Talking with Amy, it was amazing some of the things that you can think about that dealing with stray animals and feral animals can lead you to a whole database of research information about public health. So I was very excited about that, the possibility of working with that to really see at what levels this is a problem.
A good thing on the side of a cat and dog population is rodent control. If there were no dogs at all roaming freely, it's possible that the rat population would get out of control. So a small free-roaming population of dogs can be beneficial, and yet too many dogs and too many cats do create a public health problem.
But we want to make sure, of course, that there's not anything that a stray dog is going to bring home to the family that, again, might give to the family pets. Again, things like fleas or worms, and we don't want anything to impact the kids particularly, or certainly adults as well, as some of the conditions might be transmissible to people.
There's a lot of branches that you can take in research from just identifying, from the observational studies of just taking a look at what's going on by what you can see, and then breaking that off into all of the things from toxicology all the way to parasitic disease, all the way to trauma. So there's a lot of things that we can really bring to the table to really have a really sophisticated idea of what we're actually dealing with in stray and feral animals.
Our goal is to work with a community to help them humanely manage the stray animal population that affects their daily lives and make the community safer and healthier for the people and animals who live there.